Hey there, hiker friends. Welcome to Hike Life. I'm Matt O, and today we're going to talk about how much water should I bring? I get that question on a regular basis, and to be honest with you, it's a question I ask myself every time I go out hiking. And I guess I talk a lot about water, but that's because water is really important, especially when you're out on the trail and you're sweating a lot. You can't just go turn on a faucet. You got to know where your water is or bring enough water to get you through. So, to begin with, I got Pika in the background. I think she found a little treat to chew on. Hope you enjoy watching her do her thing. Anyways, to begin with, the average hiker hikes about 2 miles an hour. Sometimes I find that to be true with myself. Sometimes I'll be hiking 3 miles an hour, even 4 miles an hour. Sometimes I'll slow down to 1.5 miles an hour. It kind of depends on the terrain, the weather. It depends on a lot of things. But if you're first kind of starting out, plan on hiking 2 miles an hour. And those of you who may not be new to hiking, but you hike in an area where you don't have to worry about water sources, maybe you've got water every mile, mile and a half, so you don't have to really bring along extra water. But now you're going on a new adventure where you have to plan your water because you have several miles, maybe a long distance, like 10 miles without water. And you need to figure out how am I going to figure out how much water I got to bring through that stretch. Uh, I recently found myself in that situation. I had about 10 miles to go between water sources, and I needed to figure out how much water I was going to bring to get me through that 10 miles. Plus, my dog Pika here is with me, so we had to figure out how much water she needed to bring too, or I needed to bring for her. So, anyway, we'll start out with just pretend you don't have a dog, it's just you, and you're just carrying water for yourself. Plan on hiking 2 miles an hour. So, if you're going 10 miles, that 2 miles an hour is going to take you around 5 hours. Uh, for me, I drink quite a bit of water, so I plan on drinking 1 full liter of water, and I usually carry these smart water bottles. Yeah, smart water. I usually carry one of these, and I usually assume this bottle is going to last me for 2 hours. So, 4 miles. So, for this bottle, I just kind of marked it out so you can plan your water or ration your water if you want to use that word. So I've got these different lines here. This line is my halfway mark. It's what I will plan on drinking this half the first hour and this half the second hour. So as I'm walking along, let's say I started hiking at 9 o'clock in the morning and I have to go 10 miles. That's going to put me 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. 3 o'clock. Whoops, I did that all wrong. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. 2 o'clock. It's 5 hours. Put me around 2 o'clock. I'll be getting to my next water source. So, the first hour, I'm going to drink up to this line right here. So I watch my clock. This is going to get me through 30 minutes. This is going to get me through the next 30 minutes. Every 15 minutes, I look at my watch. Okay, it's time to drink. So I'll drink about half of that. The next 15 minutes, so at the 9:30 mark, I'd be down to here. 9:45, I'd be about here. And 10 o'clock, I should be right around the halfway mark. That'll get me through my first hour of hiking. Second, and then it just keeps on going. 10 o'clock, 10:15, 10:30, 10:45, 11. This water bottle's done. Then I get out my next water bottle. And you just keep on going like that. So if I'm going to hike for 5 hours, I've got 10 miles and I'm going 2 miles an hour and I'm drinking one of these bottles every 2 hours, I'm going to need 2.5 bottles. So 2 hours for the first bottle, 4 hours for the second bottle, and then half a bottle, which would bring me up to hour number 5. So that is where I start. Now let's assume I know that it's going to be all uphill and it's going to be sun exposed. I'm going to need to bring more than the 1.5 or 2.5 liters that I planned on because I know I'm going to drink more water because of the circumstances. So I'll need to throw in another liter, maybe 2, to get me through. So it comes down to kind of knowing your own body and how much water you drink. This is what I do for me. This is kind of my base, and if I know I'm going to drink a lot more water, I'll bring more than this. If I know I'm going to drink less, then maybe I won't bring so much water. Maybe it's a cool day, and it's in the fall, and I just know I'm not going to drink as much water. I won't bring quite as much water, but this is where I start. Now, another good tip is, let's say you're starting out at 9 o'clock, and the best thing for you to do the day before is to really hydrate really well throughout the day. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water, and get yourself hydrated the day before so you're not waking up and getting out on there thirsty already. Because if you're starting out thirsty, this little plan is going to go right out the window. You need to start out well hydrated. The other thing to do is, once you get to your water source, just take some time, drink some extra water, drink until your body's like, hey, I'm kind of done with water for now. Don't drink yourself till you're sick. Make sure you're not thirsty anymore. You might need to drink a whole one of these. You might need to drink 1.5 of these to get to that point where your body says, hey, I'm done with water for now. You can stop. Just hydrate real well at your water sources, and then let's say 2 o'clock you stop for water, you fill yourself up again, and you drink really good, and you drink let's say you drink 1.5 liters. You drink a whole one of these and another half. You can probably bet that you're not going to need to really drink much water for the next hour and a half, possibly even 2, depending on the train. So that will help you with your water needs and help you know how much you're going to need to pack for the next little stretch after that water source. So guys, I hope that this helps you answer that question of how much water should I bring, where should I start, and really it comes down to you knowing your body and then having a base to start with and then going from that. This thing is not a hard and fast rule. When I was out hiking a couple weeks ago, there was a couple stretches where I went for 45 minutes and didn't feel thirsty because I was going downhill and it was in the shade, and I didn't feel like I needed a lot of water. So, and then there was other stretches where I was looking at my watch and going, is it 15 minutes yet? Because I'd really like to have a sip of water. And I really stuck to that regimen that I had planned out, and it got me to the water source. And then again, there was another stretch where I was going uphill. It was in the sun, and it was later in the day, so it was hot out, and I was drinking more than my every half hour. I was drinking, I was coming down into here, so I was drinking more than what this little plan had given me. But earlier in the day I drank less, so it kind of evened out. So anyways, I hope this gives you a good place to start. I hope you are able to take some of the information and use that knowledge for your own hiking and backpacking experiences. And if you have a little tip on how to ration water, maybe you do it a little bit differently. I don't know. I'd like to hear about it. Maybe you've got some wisdom to share with the rest of us. Please let me know in the comments, and I'd really like to hear from you. Thanks for watching, guys. Please hit subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like, the little thumbs up if you like this video, and if you want to get a notification every time I put out a video, hit the little bell. I don't know if it's on this corner or if it's in that corner. I'm not sure, but there's a little bell there you can hit, and that'll give you a notification every time that I put out a video, and you can see what I got to say. Thanks, guys. Happy hiking.